as we've been talking about, there is a debate about what should happen with voting. Some people, let's call them radicals, think that people should be able to vote if they want to. Then there's all the Republicans that have been losing elections and don't want to keep losing elections, so they're trying to make it as difficult as possible. Now, for the most part, I would say the media has been pretty responsible about identifying what these different state legislatures are trying to do and why so many Republicans in Congress don't support HR 1. That said, media is gonna media, and so sometimes they really play into Republican narratives in this area. And I wanna show you this intro to a segment from CBS.
Republican-led effort to tighten state voting laws is getting a burst of support from former President Donald Trump.
What do you mean tighten voting laws? Someone wrote, like that wasn't, we will occasionally have a slip of the tongue, which we shouldn't, but we don't use teleprompters. Somebody wrote that and he read tighten. What does tighten mean?
That's their,
Isn't
that's
tighten like you tighten up
word.
for bikini season, You tighten up something that's needlessly loose, like holes in security. Like tighten in this context to me sounds like a good thing. Doesn't it, JR, or am I being too hard on them?
Yeah, you're tightening up. It's the same thing. It's like tightening your belt. When you're trying, they use that term also when you're trying to shore up your spending. You tighten it, and it seems responsible and adult-like, and the right thing to do. So if you're tightening up these things, yeah, as you said, you're catching those loose ends because nobody wants a messy voting system. And right now we have a couple loose ends. The Republicans are trying to tighten things up.
Yeah, you tighten up things that have become bloated or things. Tighten up. So for instance, I've gained a lot of weight. My shirts have tightened up, but it's not a good thing that we're identifying here. So anyway, it's a really weird way to talk about it, especially when, as we've been discussing, like Republicans, regular Republican voters, I mean, not the politicians, do seem that there's a window where they can be reasonable in this area. So for instance, a greater share of Republican voters supported same-day voter registration than opposed it. More said they were in favor of limiting voter roll purges than said they were in favor of those purges. More supported a 15-day early voting period than who did not. Like they're not the same as their politicians on this topic, which is important. We need to communicate well to make sure that if there's gonna be a big national debate, that they are responsive to their politicians. But if the media starts to just use whatever narrative, whatever terminology the Republican Party wants, then I'm worried that this opening could sort of wash away. And it could go down to just who's in power. If it's a Republican state, they can tighten it all they want. And we'll see what the Democrats try to do nationally. But it seems like a wasted opportunity. I feel like considering the stakes, they need to be more responsible in this area.
Yeah, well, they don't. The objective is not to be more responsible in these areas. The objective is to play the middle ground because was it CBS? It was CBS News, and it was like their
CBS, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like their normal non-partisan style reporting. So that type of terminology, the thought is, well, we're not gonna implicate Republicans here, and we're not gonna implicate Democrats here. We're just gonna say they're trying this action of tightening, and then the pushback is from Democrats. Like it's this nice little fair fight. When in reality, they're not just tightening, but you can't reveal that part of the truth because it makes it seem like it's slanted. But the truth is just slanted sometimes. Sometimes the truth just tells you one side is doing this and the other side's trying to stop it. And the effects of this one side doing it is harmful to the country. Certain groups because of their power structure. That's just the way it is. That's the truth. So you can say all that and say, therefore, Republicans are trying to tighten it to help secure some more victories for themselves.
Yeah. So weird. I've never. It's a blind spot that I have that I haven't worked in a lot of different types of newsrooms, so I don't know how the production process really goes. But I just imagine like a producer, like I need a 7-letter word for like when you lock up people for handing out water to people who've been waiting in line for like 6 hours in the sun. Tighten. No, that doesn't make any sense to anybody. It's when the gap between how a regular common sense person works and how the most important news is communicated to them is at its greatest. That's unfortunate.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.